Hey guys, Tacos with Friends podcast for October 6th, 2017. It's a good fucking month.
You're back, man.
I'm back,
with Ivy,
and it's a good
You're
fucking
back,
month because it's the month of Halloween. There's gonna be a lot of scary shit going on, and I'm happy.
You're back, man.
He's
Yeah,
happy
I'm back,
with all
man.
the scary shit going on.
After a little break, I'm back. Unfortunately, I had to miss the last podcast, and I'm pretty sure the reasons that they told you on the last one were absolutely false.
Wait, whoa. Excuse me. Wait. So you didn't listen to the last one?
I listened to the last one a little bit.
No. Clearly you didn't
I
listen
listened to the last one a
You
little
clearly didn't listen to it.
You guys praised me a lot, which I thought felt good.
That's the last time you'll ever get any praise from me.
So
that's it.
So what?
You're cut off.
What is your version of why you weren't around?
Okay, my version for why I wasn't around, I made some plans with a friend of mine, and
When? Well, on what for what day were the plans made?
because those plans were probably the only day that he had off, and I just haven't seen him in a while.
Okay.
So,
But you're back now, right?
but I'm back now.
Good
yeah.
to have
back
you back,
now.
pal.
Yes, he's back at fucking work doing whatever he does.
All right. Well, if he's listening to this, you fucked everything up last week. Frank.
No, the last podcast was great.
It was
I
wonderful.
enjoyed it.
But you just said you didn't listen to it.
I listened to some of it, and the little bit that I listened to was fucking fantastic. I thought it was fantastic podcasting.
Well,
I would like to apologize for the sound quality for our loyal listeners out there.
you know what?
I'd like to apologize too.
Sometimes Ivan kind of proves his worth a little more than some of us would like to admit. And yeah, last week, you know what? It's a growing experience. The B team wasn't necessarily up to snuff, but we
they
don't get all
had-
the reps. We
but-
don't get all the reps during the week. You only get a few looks at it. And what took me 5 hours, and we still didn't figure out last week, took this fucking guy all 3 minutes this past time.
Okay, but it was good because there was a fill-in for me. You guys had a guest. Wasn't it
Right.
Kyle, right? Chris
buddy
Kyle,
Kyle.
the
I'd like
sniper.
to thank Kyle.
And I would like to thank Kyle too. You did awesome.
The first one in a long line of illustrious guests.
But
That are
we're not
coming.
done with guests though. We
We're
have
not.
another one here today.
Right.
A good friend, Curtis Conley. Please introduce yourself to our one listener.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
I don't appreciate you giving up my full government name, though. I'm wanted.
Yeah, he's got warrants, guys.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Kurt is an associate from our workplace, and we decided to have him come here and sit in with us and talk to us about some of the stuff that's going on.
So a little
in
bit
the
of
last week.
background on Kurt is we're all pretty young.
Yeah.
Greg is probably the oldest of us, and I don't want to give out your full government age, but it's
He's 34.
he's
Whoa,
he's in his early
wait
30s.
Wait a minute now, sir.
And
We can't just skip over the fact you just said I'm 30. I am not 34, ladies.
He's 28.
To all the sexy ladies out there, and I'm talking to one special one. You know who you are. I'm not 34.
You didn't lie. But we all have a very young perspective. We only have so many years behind what we have to say. So we wanted to bring in an established elder of the community, somebody that
someone with a little bit of salt and pepper in their beard.
somebody with a little more experience, a little more aged to their wine. So we wanted to bring in recently you're almost retired. You're almost to the retirement age, but we wanted to bring in Kurt just to get a perspective from the older crowd, just to see what the baby boomers is your generation, right?
I just banged. I don't know about the boomers.
We just wanted to get his perspective on a lot of the crazy shit that's been going on. And on a more serious note, he is a avid gun owner and a gun shooter. And with the crazy shit that's been going on, we want to get his perspective on that a little
Absolutely.
Wow.
So,
You look
all
so,
right.
you look so laid back, man. You look so relaxed.
It's
right
chill
now.
because
Like,
in the studio,
Right.
aka my bedroom,
Right.
we just got
right,
It
let's
looks
set the
great.
mood. Let's set the
It looks
mood right.
good.
When
It
we
looks
came
good.
in here, I even rearranged the area. Everything is like all organized. But then when we came in, the lights are down low. I even had fucking candles lit for us when we came in here.
The candles are lit to get the smell of
He,
ass
he
out of
set,
the room.
he set the mood right. I don't believe you for 1 second. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing, sir. I don't believe this.
I'm impressed by the power strip that you have perfectly mounted underneath your desk. That
Yep.
is outstanding, sir.
Just
Wow.
so I can have more feces space.
You must be more feces space.
More feetsy.
Feces?
Feet.
I guess we'll be getting to that
Oh,
later.
okay.
I was trying to be cute and it failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
All right, guys.
You're cute like
So-
a bear is cute.
Dangerous. All right, guys. So, Of course, the biggest thing in the news that happened in the previous week, of course, unfortunately,
O.J. Simpson got released.
no,
Yeah,
that's
the
not
juice
it.
is loose.
That's not
Juice
the.
is- oh, wait, what happened?
Something even bigger happened.
What?
Unfortunately,
Did
at
North
a
Korea finally attack?
no, somewhere else.
Okay,
At a
whatever.
concert in Vegas, a wild gunman appeared, and
I'm sorry. One thing. We're not going to call him a gunman. This guy was a terrorist. Let's
This-
get it straight.
he was
domestic
he was
terrorist.
a
He was a
domestic
terrorist.
terrorist. That's
Yes.
exactly what he was. He was a domestic terrorist, and there's been a lot of stuff going around, especially in the media and especially online, about how people perceive this. I got into a pretty it wasn't a heated debate, but it was a debate talking about the motive behind this guy. And frankly, I think that we're spending too much time trying to find a motive when honestly I could just put him down as some crazy terrorist. Despite what he believed that led him to do this, no matter what he believed in, he still had the thought in his head to kill people.
Yeah, that's
There are-
just because he's you don't have to have some affiliation to a terrorist group or something like that to be crazy and want to do shit. He was a crazy guy who had resources to do this. I mean, how many people have thought, wow, I could kill this person right now, or how many people have had those type of thoughts, and this guy, for whatever reason went through with that, and he had the money, the resources to do it, and he planned it out.
Yeah, it was a clearly planned attack. Like
It was planned, but
I read that he actually, like the week before at another music festival that was in Vegas, he booked rooms there,
Right.
and it also came out that he booked hotel rooms in Chicago, for the Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
So he clearly had an idea of what he was going to do.
And I saw a theory that at least the first one in Vegas was more sprawled out, and definitely the Route 91 one was very concentrated and like a perfect line of sight from where he was, and that's scary. And what also I find very crazy is that he fired for 11 minutes at everybody, and it took them like 20 minutes in total, or 20 to 30 minutes in total, to finally get to the room where he finally killed himself. So this dude didn't even meet any resistance.
But the thing is,
you got to locate him first. You don't know where he's coming from.
Well, I was
all
reading-
you hear
that's what I was
all
gonna
you hear is gunfire. You don't actually see the location.
Well, no, I was going
because if
people
I
are
shoot
running.
my gun, the first thing you're gonna do is turn the opposite way. You're not gonna look toward where I'm shooting from.
Well, I was going through all the transcripts. I've been following it really closely, and apparently they thought there was another shooter on the 29th floor. So they had like a tactical team trying to find them, so they were sweeping. But in a situation like that, they sweep the rooms very slowly, very methodically, trying to make sure, because they didn't know if there was one gunman,
Right.
if there was a group of guys going out. So they were doing that. But this dude apparently had Rainbow Six style, had fucking cameras in the hallways.
yeah, on the
on
the
the
room
tray.
service tray. Yeah.
in the peephole, all of that, and apparently, I'm sure he had police scanners, all that stuff. So I'm sure when he knew they were coming close, he popped himself.
Which is what's pissing me off is like you can't have the heart to go and kill all of these people and then pussy out and kill yourself.
See, but then I saw a report that he wanted to get away. He had a getaway plan, and then he ended up writing a note. But they can't find a motive, but they supposedly found a note. But yeah, that's he.
right.
If you're gonna have 23 guns, go out in a blaze of glory. Go out in a shootout or something.
Can I,
like that.
Because actually, I think that's may have what had happened. I think it just got, they may have killed him, but they didn't want to seem as if they got to him quick enough. So they said, "Well, he killed himself by the time we got there."
Conspiracy theory.
I think they may have already had that man down before they even said
You gotta think
he killed himself.
He witnessed the Kennedy assassination. He's very, he
Right.
knows all this
Kurt
shit that
was
the government
around
does.
when
One second.
Lincoln got killed.
one second, I want to do something really quick. Apologies for the noise. That may make it a little bit better for you guys, though.
You got and while we're on the issue of mics, you got a big ass hair that you're like ingesting every time you talk into it.
That's because all this hair.
That's the
pubic hair in
hair.
his
That's
mouth.
the hair of Jim's cat.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was a pubic hair. I'm sorry.
An all
I
white
apologize.
pubic hair. Who's it? Doc Brown's pubic
Hey,
hair.
man, hey, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, Doc Brown.
But
Yeah. So,
sorry.
and the main thing that I have a big problem with, because despite what's happening right now, it's the community's reaction to it, the country's reaction to it, that's really annoying me. People on day one when it first happened, or the morning after, when the rest of America pretty much woke up and saw the news, they immediately started trying to tie it to some sort of political agenda. So that means they're immediately trying to say, conservatives did it, or liberals did it. He was a liberal, he was a conservative.
Or that he was a part of ISIS.
Well, yes, trying to vilify.
What I found was the most disgusting was like the people that, like the CBS worker, like executive who said, well, you know, all those country people are mostly Republicans and, you know, people who support guns, they get it coming to them. Or, you know, used it in that sense.
And you know
that's
what's crazy?
Gross.
They don't.
That's disgusting.
So basically,
really
it was genocide then.
They deserved it.
I'm sure he was a Republican who owned
Exactly.
guns. So he's basically saying that he committed genocide.
And that's great. I know a lot of fucking liberal ass fucking 20-year-olds that love country. I mean, country.
Every walk of life got fucked up, man. It's really scary. And my girlfriend and she actually my now fiance, big news. She listens, so I got to
Is that
keep
big
that
news?
right.
News break?
Yeah.
I got engaged the other
This
day.
just it.
You got engaged the other day?
Yeah, the other day.
Congratulations, son.
Thank you.
And it was his birthday.
And
It was
my-
your birthday?
Yes, sir.
Go shorty. It's your
Fucking
birthday.
gay.
Wow. So. Whoa.
I don't
Whoa. Wait
but
a minute
The
now.
anger and hate
Oh,
in his
sir.
voice.
Sir.
We gotta make sure you don't get your hands on any guns, buddy.
Yo, you. Hey.
But
I
to
don't
my
stand for that, sir.
to my
No,
greater
no,
point,
no.
to my greater point, she was actually she went to Vegas a few weeks ago, and my biggest fear was like Vegas is a soft target. Like any like mass group of people is a legit like a target for a crazy person, a terrorist attack. Vegas has like a casino heist a few months ago. There was like a hostage situation on a bus on the strip this year. There's a lot of crazy shit.
Good question. When you say casino heist, is this more of like a Ocean's 11 heist?
They robbed like
Because that's fun.
a jewelry store
fun.
in the casino.
That's
apparently.
fun. That's fun.
You know what? Whenever you got Brad Pitt and George Clooney together,
Yeah, you get Brad Pitt, you get some Don Cheadle.
you ain't gonna get a bad movie.
Yeah.
You ain't getting a bad movie.
Man.
I miss Bernie
I have
Mac,
not
though.
watched this movie.
Oh,
Bernie
rest in
Mac.
peace, Bernie Mac.
R.I.P. Bernie
Bernie
Mac.
Mac drove by
R.I.P.
me as a kid in South Holland.
Really?
And he waved at me.
That sounds like
that day.
That sounds like Brendan Mac.
I
He's a
lived
very
I
nice
lived down the
guy.
street from in a cul-de-sac with like a local comedian who was like big in the area. I don't remember her name, but like as a kid, I remember like Bernie Mac, and he drove by in a red. I don't know what car it was, but it was old school, convertible red, white interior, top down, dressed up suit.
Oh.
And he went over there for a little bit, and I'm outside playing, and as he left, I'm looking, and I wave at him, gave me a little wave, and kept driving.
Bernie Mac
Never-
was getting a
You
lot
could
of strain.
you could sell your hand
I'm telling
for
you.
a good amount of money.
I never
don't
wanted to
believe
wash
so.
my eyes again. I was like, Jesus.
So back to Las Vegas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's really scary, and I had a panic, or I started panicking on Monday, like Jesus fucking Christ, like
It's just envisioning yourself being in such a situation where all you know is that there's a hail of bullets coming down on everyone around you. You don't know where it's coming
well,
from.
no, and what's more
And-
scary is they thought it was fireworks at first. The first few minutes, people didn't know.
Exactly. Like I know I saw the videos of people actually standing up with their arms out. Now those people are idiots because I think at one point I think you have to realize that okay, somebody's shooting down.
Yeah.
Look, everyone, let me send a message out to you. If somebody's shooting, this isn't a video game. This isn't Grand Theft Auto. Once you get hit, if you die, there's no second chance to come back and get your revenge.
Well, that's
Get
some
on the ground.
mind-blowing stuff there.
Definitely now
Yeah.
with this, I think everyone's
Ivan,
going to be
you
a lot
you
more
really
aware
needed to hear that.
of active shooter situations. And they said a lot of the people that they weren't finding people till the morning afterwards, blocks away, because once they got shot, they ran away from the scene
And died.
died or bled out, that type of stuff.
I think the actual death toll was like 59, and then I think just like the injuries was like at 500.
500.
Yeah.
Basically, because and now, just to let it be known, he didn't shoot 500 people. They put
this is all-
any type of injury that
So
comes.
this is all like
Exactly.
stampeding,
Exactly.
trampling.
Exactly.
Ricochet,
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
think the Ricochet. I mean, he
Right.
Oh, Ricochet was the fuck.
he's
yeah.
shooting for 11 straight minutes. Even if he's not hitting people, he's hitting the ground,
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
bullet
Bouncing
is
back up.
bouncing back
Yeah.
around.
Exactly.
And that's all concrete, right? Is that grass?
It was a parking lot, dude. That's all it was.
But
And
see, even with enough power on grass, with a trajectory, with enough powerful trajectory, it will hit that grass and bounce
Yeah.
back up. It
Yeah.
won't just go straight into the ground. So you got to know about, they call it algebra. So the question is,
I thought you were really about to give me some
Algebra.
some
I mean,
term
physics.
that I've never heard before.
No,
and then you give me algebra.
Kurt just watched CSI. That's all right.
but the question is, tourism, and would you all go to Vegas after this type of incident,
never wanna
or
go to
go
Vegas
to another
anyway.
location with a concert venue in front
I
of a
still
hotel?
want to go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. and I
I've been to
think it'd be a
Vegas,
great
and the thing
experience
is,
for me.
I'm not. I think the one thing I will say about this country is, if you fuck with us, we're gonna give you the middle finger back. We're gonna
Right.
say, you know what,
Yeah.
fine. You know what, you shot Vegas. We're gonna come right back. So I actually would expect Vegas to come back, bigger and better.
Well, people were there. They were actually a few days later getting off the planes for tourists was going there. But I'm just saying as
It's still got money.
right. It still has money, but like I said, would you think the overall population would be, I guess, a little more weary about being in a concert venue in the open like this?
I think
Obviously, yeah, you're gonna
Exactly.
you're gonna obviously think about it, but the thing is, unfortunately, life goes on.
Well,
Right.
another thing
So
is police
you can't stop living.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to stop living because now you're living in terror, which is what they want.
The terrorists
The
won.
terrorists have won,
Yeah.
but also now you got to think the police are going to be looking. This is now a new reality in the world we live in, where any mass group of people can be a target for shit like this. So I'm sure, especially high profile concert venues are going to have a bigger security presence, people looking for windows, parades, that type of shit.
But I think
But
as-
now, as a concert goer, you need to be aware. This also goes on us too.
Yeah.
In situations where we're in large groups of people, you can't just be a dumb person.
You got to
looking
be
at your
aware and
phone.
protect yourself.
Right.
You have
gotta
keep your head on a swivel, man.
Now, what I really was wondering when all this was going on is how is this guy able? Because how many guns they say he had in that hotel?
23.
About 20.
How did he transport these 20 guns?
Probably
Broken
Suitcases.
down
Suitcases.
in suitcases.
You got to
You
think.
can break down.
So now what do the hotels do now?
But see, even with that
Metal detector?
no,
Yeah.
they make plastic locks. See, that's the other thing people don't seem to understand. They make plastic locks and they make rubber bullets. Rubber bullets, again, with enough power, can still pierce your skin or injure you to a point, possible bleed to death. So having metal detectors still won't solve this problem.
And it's not like he's bringing in 23 suitcases on a dolly, and it's not, and I'm sure he has probably one or two suitcases, brings that, and within the course of a day, a guy leaving with a suitcase every day, that's normal. He comes back a few times. Maybe he's just that's his work stuff. It doesn't
Who
mean
knows how long he had the hotel rented out for?
Exactly.
Right.
He was a millionaire accountant, and
there's-
that's an expensive hotel.
I don't
And-
want to. There's no reason. The hotel is not to blame. It's the fucking
No,
dude to
of course
blame.
Obviously.
Right,
Now, my
exactly.
other thing I've been pondering is, so you have his brother who's giving interviews almost
I was like,
every
dude,
day.
I was like, hey,
They
dude,
are pestering his brother.
You need to
lawyer
I feel,
up, bro.
I
and
feel
then
so
his
bad for him,
girlfriend
man.
who was saying she had no clue about this.
Yeah, she
Exactly.
seems a little fishy.
Right. Now the
But see,
thing
that's
is,
the thing.
now supposedly, did they say they lived together, correct?
Yeah.
One time, yeah,
they shared homes together.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
they said they found maybe like 17 or 19 guns at his house.
in multiple homes.
Right. So you're saying she doesn't know anything
Nothing.
about anything.
They're saying that he must have an accomplice or something.
She must, or maybe he has like a safe house or something. Maybe he is he has a lot of money.
Now we're
He
not
could have another
we're not
place, you know?
saying that
But
his
y'all also,
girlfriend is
but
guilty.
y'all
right
also
now.
know the slogan,
No, of
right?
course
The
not.
best way to get away with murder is not to tell anybody about it. So if he's not
Yeah.
telling anybody about these plans, they do have plausible deniability
Kurt.
where they cannot know.
Kurt.
It
Whoa.
is possible not to know.
Yeah.
Of course,
Kurt.
because why
Early
would
days
he?
of Law
Why
and
would
Order.
he? Why would he tell her?
Kurt's been watching
I mean-
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
The thing
Only
is,
in the bedroom.
the thing, the thing is, I just there's no reason he would tell her because
Right.
if he felt the need to do this, he's not gonna tell him. He's already lost his fucking mind.
He sent
He's
her
already
off,
planning
bought
on
her a
it.
house. She said she thought he
He's
was breaking
he's
up
probably
with
the
her.
one that sent her to another country.
Well, that
Yeah.
she said that
Country.
she thought that he was breaking up with her. That was the thing, like to send her off, give her a house, and be done with her. But she lawyered up, so whatever she says is not.
And I would advise his brother to lawyer up
Yeah, like-
because he's giving a lot of fucking interviews.
Yeah, dude,
Calm
like,
down, man.
lawyer
But here's the
Yeah.
thing: they're pestering the fuck out of him for interviews because they're trying to do anything they can to get him.
I
over.
understand that,
Right.
but
And
just because they
I wish
put a
they'd leave
mic,
him alone.
just because they put a mic in your face, doesn't mean you have
You
to.
walk
A lot of
spew
the times he
everything.
almost did an interview. Like the first interview he gave, he was in front of his house, and he's like, Man,
like
I don't know.
panicking.
It just happened. I'm trying to collect
Yeah.
myself too.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're just
Now this
mics
is
in
just
his
me.
face.
Now, obviously, I'm speaking.
If I was him, I'd have
on-
whipped my like.
I'm
cock
speaking
out.
like somebody that's seen it already. But I would think the moment that this happened, I'm on the phone with a lawyer trying to get a lawyer out here to talk to these people. I'm not going to jump out, and
Fucking
just
Yeah.
just start dry snitching. Come on, man.
He wasn't dry saying he didn't know.
And that's the thing. So we say he didn't know. Now I'm not saying if he knows or not. I don't
Oh,
know.
whoa, Greg, you making assumptions?
Of course.
Well, that's
Come on. I'm making an ass out of you and all of us.
The police
Yeah.
are doing
Hey, we're getting a little
the same
chatty.
thing.
We're getting
Right.
chatty.
You know,
Right.
the police they're doing it, assuming as soon as they found out what his last name was. Everybody with their last
Yeah,
name.
exactly. Like it came out that his dad was like some bank robber.
Robbers
Yeah.
years ago. What the fuck they got to do with him killing people?
I've read a story by like USA Today that pinpointed the news story that when they got the dad, he was 7 years old, and the neighbor knew it was coming, so the neighbor brought him over to swim across the street so he wouldn't see the dad get arrested. And they said that day was a turning point in his life. And it was since that day that he didn't have a father, blah blah blah, and that's when everything changed.
So
that was the
we
motive.
blame the police. Good job, Blue Lives Matter.
Whoa, what? Huh?
Yeah.
What happened here now?
But even
Taking a left turn.
They arrested his dad and made little Stevie crazy.
Well, shit,
And
they
then he
should have
decided-
arrested, Stevie right then and there.
right, because
Yeah.
he decided when he was 64, decided
coming
to
up
Hey,
to kid.
on the same
Future murderer.
note, kind of, but a little bit of different note. Going back to the police and shit, going back to Michael Bennett with this same situation
Who's
in Las
Michael Bennett?
Vegas,
Right.
where
the
there
football
was
player
a
that said he
perceived
was
Oh, they thought he was shooting and they arrested him.
there was a
and beat his ass.
perceived active shooter situation,
right.
and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time,
Mhm.
and crouching and looking suspicious, and was taken down.
Right, and see that's why everybody's hindsight thought is, number one, why would you run in the first place? If you know there's active shooting going on, you already in a safe location, stay the fuck still.
Kurt.
Kurt, I
sounds
probably
good.
would have ran too.
I'm probably
because-
gonna run too.
Okay.
You know.
And then on top of that, if he wasn't racially profiled, he was hype profiled
See-
because he was the biggest man in the fucking area.
Right.
But you know what I thought about though?
He was an easier target. To
He
shoot.
wasn't
Right.
the only black person running. I'm
Right.
sure.
Exactly. That's
I'm
what
sure
I'm saying.
it
If
was
he wasn't
everybody
racially
that-
profiled,
and
it's because
It
of
was
his
that.
size.
Look, he was racially profiled, but as well he was hype profiled.
Right.
So it's kind of like let's get the biggest blackest guy that we see because. Oh man, big black guy running. So we're not gonna get the small black guy running. Let's get the big black
that's
guy.
I don't know.
African
That's-
American. He's gotta be
Right.
one.
I think that's very assumptive. I do.
But again,
do.
Jim, as a black man, you can't be running for your life. You have to be running from something.
See, but he in the video he definitely looked
Kurt,
like he
that
was crouching.
That was like some
That's real shit.
knowledge for your
That's
ass
true.
right there, Kurt.
Oh,
He
by the way,
dropped some street knowledge.
Wow, Kurt.
words of wisdom
Yeah.
from a very wise man.
Yes.
It's the truth.
Wow.
He dropping some street knowledge on your narrow.
But now
ass.
you see
Man,
why.
Kurt was there when fucking who was that? That was George Washington that cut down the apple tree.
With the teeth, with his teeth,
Right,
the wooden
Kurt,
teeth.
Kurt handed him the axe.
We got the same dentistry.
But no, to my point is, you see, I can definitely see the reaction where I understand telling somebody I'm gonna blow your head off is a very like shitty thing to hear, but it's like a verbal deterrent. Like if this guy really has a gun and there's more people with guns, or you think this is an active shooter, it's gonna stop him from reaching. If you're the only cop, if I'm the only dude trying to tackle you and I think you got a gun and you're shooting, and that's what I think, I'm going to tell you whatever I got to tell you so you're not fucking reaching, because it's just you and me, and you are a big motherfucker. I'll shoot you if you fucking do anything. I can see that rationale. And after this, my opinion has kind of changed on the whole Michael Bennett, just because if that was a real situation, I want the police to be aggressive and to take it out.
Cops got to go home too. They got families too.
Now, and I'm with you on that. I will say that the Las Vegas PD they did a really good job with with everything they did, and I would like for my opinion to change on what's going on, but I'll show you once we kind of wrap this up. Because I haven't necessarily gotten my mind around it, but I did just see a video this morning of a black guy that just got shot.
Oh.
So
yeah, I saw that too.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
I'm not going against like the police or anything. They did a good job, but it's just for every for every great thing that you see, there is like something that comes out.
Well, I think
and they said that shooting was justified.
They
always justify
it is. It's a case by case basis. I don't think it's wise to lump anything together.
Exactly. There's good cops. There's bad.
Just as there's good people, bad people. There's good Democrats, good Republicans. There's good everything, bad everything. Everybody is an individual, and you have to judge. Just yawn into the microphone.
Everything
yawn
into
the microphone.
Black and white.
Yeah. But it's not. Like we're in a rainbow of colors right now, and so. Even I can still. That's the thing. I can still be mad at what the cops in Vegas did to Michael Bennett, which I am. I'm still. I think they were wrong in what they did, but I do applaud them for what they did in this situation.
Afterwards,
they did a good job.
They took down a big black.
Yeah,
I applaud them too.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Thanks a lot.
When Ivan said that, the look that Greg gave him won. And the uncomfortable shirt pulling that Ivan did, you know Ivan's uncomfortable. Like he says something, he had his chest out when he said it, but when he got the reaction, he got a little uncomfortable. Pull the shirt down. Okay, whoa.
So my question is, I think so we could go to this next topic. What are obviously. Whenever something like this happens, there's like a mass shooting in this country. The first thing they go to is gun laws.
But they're gonna, because they gotta look to change something. Now, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the government looking and saying, "How the fuck can we stop this?" Then people just going, "Oh, there's just crazy people out there. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen again." I'm totally with the government trying to find a way, even if I can't think of a good plan myself. I'm just fine with people trying to figure out a way. Now, this guy had something on his gun, which is called a bump stock. Apparently, a bump stock, all it does is, what does it do? It increases the recoil, so you only need to pull your trigger once, but it actually bounces the entire gun around your finger, so it mimics the
trigger pull pretty much.
It mimics just holding the trigger down and turning it into an automatic rifle. So now a lot of people are talking about, including the NRA and Congress, they're discussing if bump stocks should be legal. And surprisingly enough, I did not expect this, the NRA actually supports the decision to ban bump stocks.
Well, yet again, though, nobody knew about the bump stocks until this incident. You never seen the commercial saying...
You've never seen it.
It was more of an underground thing, exactly. And like now you when you Google bump stock, nothing comes up. Walmart, anything that's sold bump stock online no longer has it. You can't even search it. I've never heard of it until this happened. If I had an AR-15, I heard about. I've never.
But that's the thing. They should have done research on that, because that should have been banned a long time ago.
Social bullets.
Why would? What is it?
I'm just saying we're concerned about the process of the weapon, but what about the projectiles?
But no.
Bump stop or not, you still shoot.
But the thing is,
if he's only shooting one round, at a time,
that means only 30 people get killed. Because still, it's a weapon with multiple projectiles.
He shot 800 rounds. He shot 800 rounds a minute for 11 minutes. So that's 8,800 rounds, right? Compared to if he was firing single shot, that's nowhere close to that.
The average clip, even if he had a fucking tank clip, it only has 100 rounds. So that means he had to reload. Understanding what I'm saying? So regardless, if he squeezed the trigger each time,
it would have given more people. It would have given people.
If he's shooting pop.
Not really.
You don't think so?
Because if you're not paying attention, like you said, where everything is coming from and what's happening, all this is creating this chaos. So it won't give anybody a chance to get anywhere because they don't know where they're going in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So how can they get out of a situation when they don't even know what's in the situation?
Right.
You make no sense, Chris.
But what I do want to say is this. I was actually just looking at something since we're on the bump stock. Obviously, after every mass shooting, gun sales go up.
Of course.
Because the first thing that the avid gun owners, the first thing they think is, oh man, something like this happens, they're going to try to take our guns away.
I was thinking that too. I was literally saying,
from what I just saw,
people need to arm up,
the
man.
bump stock,
like, these crazy
the purchase of that has gone up since that shooting.
I would have wanted one. I want one now.
So that's the thing. So it's
cool now.
Obviously, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that I don't know if it's something that's just with this country.
It's irreversible.
It's just the fact is that we definitely, like me personally, I think something as far as, obviously, you know, I don't have the answers to what can be done. Obviously, there's something that needs to be changed with the gun control, with the gun purchasing process.
Because guns used to be for your self-preservation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To defend yourself. Now it's just there just to let loose willy-nilly.
We live in a completely different world now. We live in this internet age where everything evolves and changes so quickly now, and we live in this country that's vastly different from coast to coast, from town to town, where everybody has different views on certain things, and there's no way that, you know, they're going to take all the guns away because there's too many people who want guns. I don't.
It is a right that you have.
Right. And that's the thing with the Second Amendment, right? The right to bear arms.
Yeah.
It's to defend yourself, and it's to defend yourself against the government, and that means just because the government is good right now doesn't mean in 100 years it won't be tyrannical.
But I still think some weapons should be regulated because let's be honest here.
100%. 100%. But don't take all my guns.
That fucking that right was written back when it literally took like 3 minutes to fire one round. Like that's when I was written, and it was never changed or adjusted. Now we got guns that can fire 800 rounds.
Right.
But the government also had
yes.
guns that only shot 1 round per minute.
Like from what I've heard,
the rules of engagement is that
the
NRA
started out as an organization that was for people that wanted, basically it taught people how to hunt and all that, and basically it turned into this political organization that is donating to Congress and everything. So I don't have the answers to exactly what can be done, but if you have a handgun, that's fine.
It's so
but
embedded
you shouldn't be
in our
trying
culture.
to get guns that people that's in the military.
I've been shooting before. It's actually very fun. It's a great stress reliever to just shoot at a target every now and then.
It is.
It's fun to learn more about guns and go through it. And I think those people that are just like, oh, dude, we need to ban all guns. They're being unrealistic, because if you ban all guns, the only thing that law is going to affect is good law-abiding citizens that could actually use a gun to save somebody's life in the case a shooter were to walk into a fucking Taco Bell. If there's a guy there with a gun on his hip, not only will it make the shooter not want to do it, but if someone did come in there and shoot, he would be the first line of defense to take that shooter.
Bad guys always find ways to get guns.
Bad guys will always find a way to get guns.
I think, like I said, we talked about this on the first podcast.
You remember Prohibition?
That will never.
You remember Prohibition when they banned alcohol? And all it did was put money in criminals' pockets. People were still able to get it, but it created a black market for it.
And gun culture is so embedded in our culture now.
It's already a black market. What are you talking about? The sale of automatic weapons wasn't allowed years ago. There was a black market for that too.
The thing is, if we were to ban if we were to ban weapons right now, like say if they wanted complete gun control, that means people probably wouldn't be able to buy nothing more than a pistol.
Well,
that's what a lot of people want.
But see, the only thing about guns in general is just that the guns makes a coward feel much better. That's the thing about That's the thing about this carrying guns and all this shit that I'm always concerned with, is that a man now with a weapon, a woman with a weapon now feels a little bit more braver since they know they have something they can retreat to.
Not necessarily, because
I don't necessarily. That's 100% fucking guaranteed. If I pull up to you, you got a gun in your car. I pull up to you at a gas station and I say something sassy that you may not like. The first thing you'll do is turn your head to that car because you know it's a fucking gun in that car.
Let me ask you this. At what point do we blame the gun for that? And what point do we blame that person is fucked up? So why should a law-abiding normal human being who wants a gun to be protected from that crazy motherfucker be punished because of that crazy motherfucker? Why can't, for that dumb kid who wants to, brandish a gun at school and shoot his classmate, how come it can't be the parents' fault for why the fuck did you raise a kid that's so crazy? Why is he in an environment that's making him, want to act out that way? How are you letting him get a gun?
And I think with they did ask the parents a lot of questions, but unfortunately they just can't charge the parents because.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a societal thing. Why is it the gun's fault? Why isn't it the people who are raising the fucking psychos? Why isn't it the psychos' fault?
And I would like to respond to Kurt really fast. there's videos of incidents where there'll be law-abiding citizens with guns, and when they have guns, usually they've had it for a long time, and they're trained to use it most of the time to do concealed carry or open carry.
And not to cut you off,
have to go through a lot of classes.
I'm gonna let you finish on that.
Work hard.
For everybody listening, go on YouTube, type in active self-protection. It's a YouTube channel. All the shit that you're explaining is...
It's a great YouTube channel. It literally goes through all these different steps on if there's an active shooter, what to do if you have your gun, how to do it safely, how to acknowledge the police's presence when they come and you have a gun. It's really great. I don't think it's a 100% thing. I don't even think it's a 20% or a 10% thing that just because someone has a gun, it would make them more likely to use it or
I'm
more
a
likely
realist.
to turn it up on someone.
Let me explain something to you. You ever heard of the word scenario? You know how many people think about certain scenarios throughout the day? What if this? What if this? What if this happens? What if that happens? And that particular training that you're saying that they're being provided with, and that scenario is what the fuck they're thinking.
And that's what they're looking
If
for.
something happens to me while someone walks up to me in this certain scenario and I have my weapon available, this is what my response will be. They're waiting on that day.
That's the thing. I think with a lot of people when they get basically not everyone, I won't say everyone, but I know some people when they get a weapon, it's the thing of, well, you go over and you basically browse over the gun rules, and the first thing you think is, well, if somebody breaks in my house, I automatically have the right to kill them. But the thing is, it's not that simple, because the thing is, let's say, Kurt, I'll come up on you, we both have guns, you don't know me, I'll come up on you, I'll pull out my gun. Now you don't know what I'm gonna do with it, so the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna go for your gun, and you're going for your gun because you're scared. And I'm more afraid of you because who knows? If I'm trying to rob you, I'm scared of what you're gonna do. So I have it's a fear.
And that's what I just said.
As a robber, I gotta defend myself.
It makes a coward feel much better.
Exactly.
Because you walking up to me with no unexpected reason other than to pull your gun out on me.
Can you really call him a coward if he just wanted to protect himself against a bad guy with a gun?
You can't pull out your gun. Pulling out a gun is brandishing. That's assault.
Right, that's brandishing.
That's assault.
Whoever pulls out the gun first, in my personal opinion, is the coward. Because as a man, if you trying to do something, if you out there to be a criminal, you already a coward.
Okay, I agree with that. I thought you were saying just someone with a gun to protect themselves.
People aren't robbing people with knives, okay?
No, it gives those people, though, this sudden Superman feeling as if they have this weapon concealed. Now I'm Billy Badass. So if I accidentally bump shoulder to shoulder with you as I'm walking past you, at any reason, even if I apologize to you, it still may not be enough.
No, I see what you're saying.
Because you have a weapon on your side.
And that's a special case scenario because that's just someone who's just irresponsible.
And that's irresponsible people.
Well, no, I could definitely see the ego thing. Even if I am like a concealed carry guy, like now that I have, say I'm the dude who does a YouTube channel, like he's like. Just because now, I got my first aid kit and I always got this tactical awareness. Now I'm looking for somebody, who's robbing the bank. Now I'm looking for somebody to, pull my gun on and say I saved it. It's not necessarily you're consciously doing that so much, but it's like an unconscious type bias or, something like that you're looking for like
now,
that.
To kind of go back to what you were saying about people being held responsible, I was listening to a podcast the other day called The Daily, and they did an interview. Let me get the guy's name right. John Markle. He's a gun store owner in Roanoke, Virginia, and he was telling a story about a lady. She came in and she basically the lady came in. She was talking about how her and her kid just moved to like a new neighborhood.
Okay.
And they heard like gunshots outside, and she was worried. She was scared. So they sold her the gun. They threw in like bullets and everything for her. And they said the lady ended up coming back a few days later, and they actually showed her exactly, this is how you load the gun, this is how you use it, this is how you do everything. And after they actually showed her that, she went into the parking lot and she killed herself.
Oh wow.
So going to what you were saying about it's the people, it's clearly the people. And I don't think that we're punishing anybody who has a gun. What we're trying to say is we need to make how you get the gun a little bit tougher.
Oh, definitely, yes.
The thing is, you shouldn't just be able to walk into a gun store and go, because basically this gun store owner, he basically said someone can walk in and they can walk out the same day with the weapon.
I live in Indiana. All I need is my driver's license.
Exactly.
I can walk
me
to
coming
Cabela's.
from Illinois into Indiana. From Illinois, I actually had to go. I had to fill out a form, go through a background check, all this, just to get the card to even get the weapon.
Exactly.
But now,
And that's an
coming
8-week wait.
exactly.
You may
But
not
coming
even wanna
into
kill
Indiana,
yourself there.
I remember I went into a gun store when I was thinking about purchasing a weapon, and I'm asking the guy, okay, can you transfer my FOID card over from Illinois? I'm like, so I could get a license for Indiana. And he basically told me, do you have an Indiana ID? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, well, there goes your gun license right there. So I'm like, so I can get a gun right now. He's like, yeah, you can get one. So that's what I'm saying. These laws need to be stricter.
Yeah, that's 100%.
How exactly? Now I can understand with states like Indiana making it so you have to go. Maybe they have their own. They have their own portion of a
Clearly,
FOID card.
every state is different.
Every state should have a FOID card. They should have you go through a background check. They should check your criminal history. They should check everything. Indiana, apparently, they don't think they need to do that. But when it gets past a normal background check and a history check, or credit check, or whatever they want to check, how exactly? Where do you put the criteria? Where do you draw the line that could deem someone crazy? And
so let me ask
crazy?
this question. So when you were saying you shot a gun before,
I think it's out there. I just don't know.
And the gun
what it is,
and the gun is for sport. So the thing is, what do you need an assault rifle for?
That's what I was gonna say.
So
That's
now, if you want to shoot,
if
you want to shoot an assault rifle, then you need to go to a gun store where there's trained people there. And if you just want to shoot it, there you go. You pay us this much, and you can shoot this gun.
Let
me give you an example of where
I'm pretty sure they could build a course where you can shoot.
Actually, they do.
That'd be awesome if they could.
Daddy-O, I should say, says many times that he shot an assault rifle.
Well, he's been in the army though.
So, but still, that doesn't give him the criteria to be able to just shoot one.
I mean, he's trained to shoot one.
Okay, doesn't mean he should have one.
Exactly. So that's the point. So let's say a person that was in the military, he got out of the military 20 years later. Is he still qualified to fire a weapon?
Let me give you this. So I don't want to give out where I worked, but I used to work at a machine shop, really small spot, and my boss was able to make a ghost gun, where you machine your own gun.
That's where you shoot ghosts, right? Or is that like the proton pack?
Where
Bill Murray style?
Where he basically just made his own rifle. Where untraceable. Whatever caliber he wanted.
Yeah.
So it's not like if I ban assault rifles, it's not going to be out there. Now that.
Man, Kurt just pulled out a stick of gum he had in his pocket.
That's like Ivan level. Right. That's Ivan level.
Like that was a stick of gum from the Great Depression.
That's like someone pulling a sandwich out of their
cutting it in half and everything.
But I think like you were saying, Ivan, like, I don't know. There's no real way to figure out exactly how to fix the problem.
No.
But there's clearly a problem.
There's no way.
There is a problem, and there's got to be a way to figure it out. But I don't have.
There is no way. Dude.
I don't know. How.
There's too many.
The reason I say there's not a way
variables,
is because there's not only it's really a touchy subject with everyone, but there's a lot of money.
Well, exactly
in this country.
There's money
over firearms.
Yeah, sure, that's
exactly.
right.
Money is a huge thing, and like we talked about before. Fuck you, Ivan.
That's right.
Every human being is a creature of comfort and a creature of habit. They don't want change, and there's so many pockets of different people with opinions that are able to be heard now. There's no going back. There's no. How the way it is, it's irreversible. It's just going to keep going to a collision course till the apocalypse in a few months.
Until the end of time.
And I want to let everyone know, we're not trying to take your fucking guns.
Democrats don't want to take your fucking guns
and
away.
And that's
a lot of Democrats have guns.
The thing is, that's what I'm saying. It's not Democrat. It's not Republican.
Right.
It's not that. It's not left. It's not right. It's basically. It's basically being a good person. We're not trying to take the good people's guns away.
Good person and being an evil
there
person.
needs to be something that unites us all, and it sucks that 4-5 doesn't have those qualities. But you think like 9/11, like when that happened, that big disaster, the whole country immediately became united. American flags on every stoop.
Yeah, but the thing is, even with that, we alienated a certain
The
part.
Muslim, yeah,
You're right. You know, so
Pearl Harbor, though, the same thing. Pearl
you know what I
Harbor,
mean?
We alienated the
So
the
unfortunately, whenever we do come together, there's always a certain group that kind of gets pushed out.
But in general, you see my.
I get what you're
who
saying.
alienates them?
What, I'm sorry?
Who alienates these people?
Oh, we're getting back at the white people. Is that what it is?
Wait. I'm not accusing white people.
But you're looking at me.
But here's the thing. All right. Who do we alienate for this shooting? Bald people?
That's the thing. Why do we have to alienate?
All right, now let me tell you.
I say we just alienate.
Now, I will say this to you. I will say this, and I have heard this. I have heard this before. I do know that, and it's something. I don't know if it was just something in me.
And that's the
first
divisiveness,
time
Ivan.
when
That's the thing that fucks shit up.
Now, Kurt, obviously, since me and you were the only black guys in here, I don't know if you thought this when you first heard about it was, okay, there's a shooting in Vegas. Oh man, I hope he's not black. That was one of the first things that went through my head.
Oh my god!
Was I hope he's not black?
Because did you guys hear about that shooting? That guy that shut up a church?
Yeah, he was black.
Yeah, that black guy. He went into an all-white, but he said he wanted revenge for
that shooting
you
before.
You didn't see anything on the news about it, and there was like the usher.
They didn't talk about him.
The usher saved the day, like tackled the dude and got him shot.
He tackled him, made him shoot himself, and then he went to his car, got his gun. And now,
black people.
They had to walk to go get them.
Unfortunately, we're not superheroes now. We can't be out here trying to exact revenge.
Just like that hostage situation. I think I talked about on the podcast before, where some dude like shot his former boss. Like you never heard anything about that. It's what sells. Yeah. The only stories you hear are what sells and what feeds the agenda that is trying to
that's
sold.
Exactly. If it's not going to bring eyes to the network, right. If it's not going to bring in money, then they don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Right. And that's what I'm saying. So like right now, you're going to start hearing a lot about gun control because that's what brings money. Even though gun control should have been something that should have been taken care of back in Sandy Hook.
You got to think, who feeds our opinions?
Oh, Sandy Hook, dude. Fucking, what was the one before it? Columbine.
No, there's even more before that.
The movie theater shootings?
Virginia Tech, Northern Illinois.
Virginia Tech was after Columbine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just like, but the point is, look at all these mass shootings that's happening
exactly.
here. And every time after it happens, it's okay. What are we gonna do about gun control? And then after maybe like after 30 days, we'll be right back on fucking Kaepernick taking a knee, and then we'll wait for another mass shooting to happen. And it's what about gun control?
That's what sells. It's a tabloid mentality. It's just like every day we're waiting for what Trump's gonna say. What's the next crazy thing Trump's gonna say so we can freak out? It's this. Who do we get our information from? Our TVs. There's like how many news sources are there really, and who controls the news sources that we get?
Exactly.
I mean, who's really behind the scenes? Saying okay, this is what you could say, or this is what we can talk about today. Everything's just to sell. Fucking. If you watch the news is where you're going to see the most car commercials.
And that's right, because I will say the actual station that I had on when they brought up ISIS was Fox News.
And I saw a video of Fox News. They can't find a motive. But the one host was like, this is all just speculation, but maybe since country music goers are religious, and this guy didn't really believe in God, maybe he did this because he's atheist and doesn't like God. And then everyone didn't even say anything. They were just all like awkward silence and just let her just kind of fade out.
Even then you're hearing like I'm heard that someone said, well, he converted to Islam like a month before.
You got Alex Jones
and his girlfriend. She's like, it's like
the Philippines branch of the Abu Sayyaf.
Like, why don't we just say this? This guy was a white terrorist.
Just a terrorist.
Say that.
No, why does it have to be white?
No. And the reason I say white is because the thing is, if it was a black guy that did it, they would have made it a point to put it.
But that's the thing.
Terrorism isn't.
That doesn't justify it.
No, it doesn't.
No, we're not trying to justify.
But that's fucking divisive. By saying just because they point it out, we gotta point it out. Why can't we just say when they go high, we go, or when they go low, we go high?
Right. Shout out to Michelle.
Michelle, what's up? I love you, baby.
Because with that answer, what you were saying about I hope it wasn't a black guy, I no longer put anything past black people in general. Now with
it's people.
It's people in general.
Because it used to be primarily white man that
Right.
shot up everybody until those shootings with the dude in the trunk shooting up
the guy
everybody.
in California.
And in California.
Yeah.
Black
So
guy.
it's like now, shit, anybody shooting anybody.
All it is,
Anybody
it
can do
feeds it by labeling them. It feeds the narrative of this divisive country that we have. It's like with the Ferguson riots. Like that was like this really big centered on thing where the media converged and the media fed it. Everybody was going down there because it's a media event now, where that's a way you can get eyes on whatever you're trying to do. Your actions are now going to be viewed on the media. It's all it is
Hey,
right now.
may
is
I
whatever's being
bring a pause
fed.
really quick? Greg, what's going on?
I don't know. Like my mic is cracking. I don't know what's going on with it.
It's getting unplugged, dude.
Oh.
This break is brought to you
Yeah.
by audiobooks.
Right.
Audible.com.
So you guys are gonna hear some terrible things in this recording.
Trust me, your eardrums will be fine.
Yeah, and Ivan's not going to edit it out, so we're good.
Right.
This will not be edited.
Dude, Greg cut out a lot that last one.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Let's keep
This
it
is
rolling.
raw. This is raw.
Hopefully we can hear Greg through our mics.
This is raw.
Yeah. So guys, yeah. So that's basically our opinion on it. So it's crazy.
I don't even know. I lost my thread anyway. I'm glad.
Rest in peace to those lost in this tragedy.
Exactly.
And
Rest in peace.
and all our hope and thoughts and our prayers are with
And
the,
real quick,
the injured. And those
I thought it
affected.
was really crazy. I read an article about all the doctors because you hear about the first responders.
Yeah, man.
The doctors were the fucking heroes, dude. Like they said, there were people in chairs in the hallway, and then another thing that the doctor said is they interviewed one, and he said the craziest thing or the most inspiring thing that I saw was the humanity between injured people. There were people who were shot and were saying, hey, give the bed to this guy. He's more hurt than I am. I'll sit on the chair. That type of thing. Apparently, that was like happening a lot. And there was a lot of glimpses of humanity and what can actually be positive parts about this.
You know what's terrible? And why I think we need to do better. It sucks that it takes tragedy for us to finally start
Always.
acting like humans to
Always.
each other.
Yeah.
For us to start acting like not a two-party system. Not get this shit out of here.
Always.
No more Republicans. No more Democrats. No more black. No more white. Just humans helping other humans. And it's like I said, it sucks that a tragedy needs to happen.
And that's going back to the point that I lost was this divisiveness that it's always got to be, this Muslim guy did it or this black guy did it or this white guy. How come we can't say he's white? How come we can't say he's black? What are we hiding this? We hiding this from our agenda? That feeds the divisiveness, and it's this ruthless circle that people resentments feeds resentment, and
Unfortunately, that's the place we live in.
it sucks, man. It's a
that's
really
the place
depressing
we
spot,
live
and there's
in.
no
That
going
is the
back.
place that we're
There's no
at.
going back. All right.
All right, guys. So we'll continue to one more thing. That went on a long time, and it took up a majority of the podcast. We have a lot of other things to talk about.
But yeah, we're covering it. We're going long this week because Ivan missed last week, and it wasn't necessarily the clear stuff.
No, we're not going to be talking about this stuff. We got a special bonus episode for you guys.
Oh yeah.
We're going to watch a little TV.
What? Oh, we're not going to talk about all the other shit.
The juice.
Oh no, we're
We
not
got
get through
the
all
juice.
this.
No, we got to get.
But here's
we
the
have to
thing.
talk
Here's the
about
thing. We can talk about the juice. If we could choose something
Dude, we
out
got
of this list
we
of
got the
topics.
juice. We got the final word with Kurt. We got
the final word of Kurt is going to happen.
We got Shannon Sharp.
We got Shannon Sharp to talk about. Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
no, listen. I want first of all,
I really
Kurt
do.
brought up a great fucking point. An outstanding. Kurt, I want to commend you for bringing this up. Kurt,
If you bring up Kurt, this is his final word, so you better let him say
okay.
it.
Kurt, this is the final word then.
I don't remember the fuck you talking about.
Kurt was talking about how.
Sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
This is literally breaking news. 1 minute ago, I do want to give a quick RIP to comedian Ralphie May.
Ralphie May just died?
No, he
Ralphie
didn't.
May just died.
Aw, I liked Ralphie May.
No.
He was having health
Yeah.
problems. I knew he was having
Breaking news.
No, that one actually fucking hurts. I love
I liked Ralphie May.
Ow, that fuck. Oh my god, that fucking hurts.
I liked Ralphie May a lot. That sucks.
That fucking sucks, dude.
I know through
And
the Rogan
what's the
podcast
thing
that
that
he's been
sucks?
hurt.
And like I said, I'm going through this big diet thing and trying to get my health in order. This is one thing that we always talked about. This is one thing. Greg saw my porn.
So when we got here today, we had to wait. We listen. Okay, full disclosure, without laughing too much. So I texted Ivan to fuck with him, saying, "Hey, we'll be there in 25 minutes." We were 5 minutes down the road. So he must have thought he had all day. So we got to the door and we're knocking and he ain't coming. 5 minutes goes by, we finally text him. He comes up like in a sweat. Oh, my bad, I was in the bathroom.
I did not come up in a sweat.
I thought you guys said 20 minutes.
You had palpitations.
Now, we just popped up the phone. I'm not going to say what came up. There was a big old dick in my face.
Again?
Again, fuck you.
That almost takes me away from the Ralphie May discussion.
Yeah, by the way, rest in peace, Ralphie May.
Rest in peace, Ralphie May.
Yeah.
That sucks because I was going to talk about because I'm on the big health thing and seeing Ralphie May and he had a big social media following on there too, and a lot of people were just talking about how he needs to get his weight in order and a lot of stuff, and it sucks that this is how it happened. I don't know.
But going back to that sucks. Damn. But yeah, he was really cool. I know.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring it down.
Yeah, man, that sucks. He was on the VH1 show, Celebrity Fit Club or something like that. He was a very endearing fat man. Good for him.
Yeah, so like I said, it just popped up on my phone, so I wanted to give a quick RIP out to Ralphie.
All right. Well, in lighter news, going back to Kurt's wisdom, Kurt brought up a really good theory that I didn't think of until then. O.J. Simpson got released the same day as all this craziness happened.
The juice is loose.
What were you saying, Kurt? That it's
correlated with the release.
Very coincidental that he gets released and then this happens.
And
They've been saying that this guy had some unknown accomplice. I think we're starting to connect some dots here, Kurt. I'll let you take it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out with OJ's appeal dates and all these other hotels that he may have booked, what days were these booked? Do you understand what I'm saying? Where was he? Whatever.
Was he accounted for
during the time?
Right.
OJ
was there an officer with him? Was that officer on the payroll?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Listen,
OJ gets released 3 a.m. Eastern. This happens shortly after.
Las Vegas used to be run by the mob. They say it's not anymore.
Used to be.
Listen, they say it's not anymore.
Would the mob
would the mob let you actually know that they're not? Listen, the mob wouldn't tell you.
Exactly.
The mob wouldn't tell you. It's very easily that the guard that was guarding him was on the fucking payroll. Kurt, I like where you're going with this.
Hey man, just common knowledge.
He's the dude who was bringing in the other guns.
It's common knowledge.
I'm not exactly sure if OJ had a hand in this or not.
But
I will say this to anybody that's out here: please donate your Nietzsche and your Jabot jeans to OJ so we can get back on his feet. Yeah. Shout out to OJ.
Shout out to OJ.
Donate those straps, everybody.
Right, like don't forget the straps.
Go OJ, go.
Right, don't forget your Nike Cortezes.
Yep.
You know, hook OJ up because OJ definitely was in some Walmart sneakers.
Poor guy.
He shouldn't be looking like that right now.
But honestly,
though, money, right?
That's why he's in jail.
Actually, OJ does have OJ actually
interview
has,
money.
His NFL retirement check.
Oh,
that he's gonna be in. So OJ ain't hurting for money.
Well, no, because he got in trouble because he was stealing merchandise because he was so down on his luck that he was trying to.
But that's the thing. They can't actually. I know that from my vast studies of OJ recently. The family of the victims that he allegedly killed. The one thing that they couldn't touch was his pension from the NFL. So he has that.
So any money he makes goes straight to them.
And you know what I want to do? I want to give a big fuck you out to, I think it's either the governor of Florida, who basically came out and said that they didn't want OJ to be in the state. They didn't want him to get paroled into their state.
Oh, wow.
And you know what? I want to say fuck you to that person because I didn't hear anything about that with George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman is out here walking these streets, not a care in the world, but you give a fuck about OJ.
Right.
So, before you worry about what the fuck old OJ Simpson is doing, get your other shit in order. Okay?
On some Zimmerman stuff,
Exactly.
I saw last year that he was trying to sell the gun that killed Trayvon. He was trying to auction it off.
Yeah, because he feels comfortable enough to do it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Right. But I'm gonna be honest though, I still want a bullet point on these this Illinois soda tax. This shit's getting out of hand, in my personal opinion. First of all,
tell us how you feel, Kurt.
Don't buy the shit if you can't afford the shit, number one. Number two, soda is not the responsibility for obesity. You can get off beef from a box of Twinkies and drinking water. Right. It doesn't have to be soda.
That's the government trying to take our money and saying that it's the fucking soda.
But see, that's not the case. The case is nobody has recess. My fucking boy goes to school, they cancel swimming. So who is getting exercise around this motherfucker? Where
Kurt, we live in Chicago. When it gets cold, they don't let you go outside.
What they got to do with soda?
That's recess. You just said they don't let you do recess.
But I'm just saying they want to attribute the soda tax to the fact that now soda was causing obesity.
Exactly,
but it was not.
It wasn't.
There's nothing wrong with the soda tax.
Cook County's broke and they just want money.
Don't buy it if you can't afford it. Don't complain about the tax.
Why? It's a government. It's a democracy we live in. If the government imposes some type of tax, it's a tax. That's why we left England. We didn't want to pay their dumb taxes anymore. If I don't want to pay taxes, why should I leave? I should change the government that's governing me.
Well, you should have thought about that before you agreed to have a tax.
Well, I mean, we didn't agree to have a tax.
Exactly. So the government don't give a fuck about your vote. So what you saying doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Everything you just said didn't make a difference because you can't vote out the government that doesn't give a fuck about your vote.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're dropping wisdom here that I wasn't prepared for. I wasn't ready for this.
I just want to let everyone know, if you're wondering like what gives Kurt the right to say this, I want to let you know Kurt was the man who recorded the Watergate tapes.
Yeah, Kurt. By the way, thank you for your service, Kurt. Thank you for your service.
Me and Nixon go way back. Me and Nixon go way back.
Ivan, what I want you to cue up, my friend. If you haven't heard Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is like.
You know what? I want Shannon Sharp to get his restitution.
I wasn't really too familiar with Shannon Sharp.
Can we pull up the video of him yelling at Ray Lewis in the Hard Knocks? He wants his restitutions.
Ivan, can you click play on this video of Shannon Sharp? Everyone needs to hear this.
If your team won, you can join me with a victory cigar. You smoke cigars.
You're calling Black and Mild cigars.
I'll be on the miles. I'll be on the miles with that yak.
I thought those were cigarillos.
Actually, buy those at my age. Hold on. First of all, Skip, why you be on me on these miles? Cause I be on these miles and hen dog, and now y'all got.
The Miles and Hen Dog.
Shannon Sharp, you are American treasure, sir. And I don't care what anyone ever says about you, sir. You are officially a member. I'm a brother from another.
I don't know why.
There we go. Enshrine him.
I don't know why. I hate videos like this where they gotta play all this music and flash and shit. Why don't they just play the fucking video?
See, I don't like Skip Bayless. I would watch that. I enjoy First Take, one, because I just instinctively pull up ESPN all the time. But I like to laugh at Stephen A. just because he's just he's funny to me. And I kind of like Will Kane. Do you guys know Will Kane?
Yeah, I've seen him.
I kind of like Will Kane, some of his points. But I don't like Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless annoys the living shit out of me. So that's why whenever I watch this, I just don't like Skip Bayless.
Stephen A. doesn't have the heart to do what Shannon Sharp just did.
I need to start watching this for Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp, for the people that did not see this, Shannon Sharp pulled out a pack of Black and Milds.
In studio.
On television. And put one in his mouth. And let everyone know that, yeah, I smoke Black and Milds and I drink Hennessy, in my free time.
And
the thing is, he called it a cigar. That's like... Fuck.
It is a cigar.
Well, it is a cigar.
It's a cheap gas station cigar.
Does that not make it a cigar?
Right, exactly.
Ivan,
right.
Ivan, my fiance is listening to this. Ivan, you just burped in her ear. Say you're sorry.
You talked about my porno.
Say you're sorry.
Huh?
Please apologize. That was good.
Right,
Good.
right,
That was
right.
good. You win.
Yeah.
Sorry, baby. I can't defend your honor anymore.
No.
Yeah. Oh, and also, since we're talking about the soda tax, that soda tax got repealed. We did say that, right?
Greg is face palming so hard right now.
The soda tax got repealed today. So
okay, good.
Yeah, so they're not going to be taxing soda anymore.
Okay, so it can be
However,
more obese kids out here.
Yes. All the kids are going to get obese again. And they're
never
also
stop.
talking about the legalization, the recreational legalization of, you know what?
What?
They're discussing it again. They're going to put up another vote for it.
It would bring a lot of money.
I think as long as Ronner's in office, it might fail. Because he's really against it. But...
Ronner's against money for the state.
And
Period.
I don't know why, because they just need to look at how well Colorado's doing ever since they legalized marijuana and was able to put up these dispensaries and actually tax it and also hurt the criminal and also take a lot of...
But see, that's the thing, though. That might be
law
what the
enforcement.
situation is if that happens and there's less criminals, that means there's no kickback from state prisons. And majority of those criminals are going to be black or African American descent.
Can I ask something
So,
quick? What's going on with Jim and Greg right now?
Nothing.
so that's the other thing to flip the coin on that side. If they legalize the marijuana, there won't be any black people in jail.
That is another thing. Yeah, how many people are in jail right now for like petty drug stuff?
A lot of people.
Exactly.
A lot of people are in there.
They're getting fucking murder rap stretches.
Hey,
for
look at
But that's the
look at
thing,
Sheriff
that's-
Joe, man. Sheriff Joe, the guy who got pardoned. He has his tent city full of people like that.
But that's what
Weed
sucks,
stuff.
man. It sucks that we capitalize on a prison system.
Hey,
Now
the-
it'll fuck shit up. If we
the
keep
prison
prisoners out
industrial complex, man. Look at how many prisons there are. How many are privately funded? The government pays the prisons. It's not like a government runs the prison. The government pays money for the prison. So the more prisoners there are, the more money they get.
Of course.
So that incentivizes for them to get more prisoners to lobby for tighter laws, tighter this, tighter that.
Exactly.
Go watch House of Cards. Lobbyists are a real thing. There's a lot of influence that big business has in government, more than people think. And I say House of Cards as a joke, but it is legitimate. Like lobbyists for certain industries are a real thing that pushes certain regulations and laws.
And that's why everybody lobby against the death penalty. Because in my personal opinion on that type of situation, if the death penalty was implemented, there would be less murdering because you're about to be put to death instead of getting 15 to 20 years in life where you're just sitting wasting our fucking money.
Hang them.
Yeah.
So if you knew you was going to die after you completed this heinous act.
Especially cop killers. They should be fucking killed almost. Seriously.
Baby touchers.
Man.
Molesters.
Pedophiles, they should be fucking killed. Anyone in NAMBLA should be fucking just gunned down.
What?
NAMBLA.
What's NAMBLA?
NAMBLA is the National Association of Men's Loving Boys thing. It's a group.
Is that like the
it's
bronies?
a group
Are they
literally
bronies?
just for adults.
Oh, I see.
They parade and do
that
everything.
TV
They would
program.
try to parade with like the gay pride parades, and the gay people would be like, "We don't want anything to do with them," and that's good on the gay people because it's literally an association of men
They got their
that want to have
own website,
loving,
everything. They
loving
broadcast
relationships
videos
with
and
young
everything.
boys.
Yeah.
And so how do you go to do you just go to the website to see those videos or?
I want to know. This is all hearsay.
Okay, and then how do you
What are you talking
do
about?
they? Is there like a
The
newsletter that
NABLA
they
that
send
you
out?
just
How
brought
do you sign up? No, I'm kidding.
Maybe we can watch it another podcast.
Oh,
but
no,
there's a NAMBLA documentary
We won't
that's
go
fucking and it
Yeah,
just
that's
follows
what I
this guy, this really creepy guy, and he would like go to like a gas station. You'll see like a bunch of like teenage
And
boys
just jerk off in the parking lot.
No, he would see teenage boys like playing with the payphone, and he would go up to him and he'd be like this, "Hey, that's really nice what you guys doing there. What's the little trick there?" And the kids say, "Oh, if you do this, it'll do a ghost dial, and you can call anyone you want." And he was like, "Oh, that's pretty good. That'll be our little secret." And he'll say things like that. Yeah, he'll say like little creepy things, and then he'll go to the guy that's doing the documentary and say things like, "See, he was getting excited. I felt the connection between me and the boy." And I'm just like, I'm like, you just want to
You okay,
strangle.
I've
the
seen
guy.
like the documentaries of like stalkers and stuff, like the.
Did you just get a contact high or some shit? What's wrong with you?
Kurt is talking to Greg right now. Greg has been very quiet and just laughing.
Ever since Ivan burped into our everybody's ear, ever since Ivan just did that, and I can already hear myself re-listening to this and just being grossed out. Ever since then, Greg has just been disconnected. I don't even know what he's. I think he might have walked out of the room a few
times. It wasn't
times.
even the gnarliest burp, neither.
It was the fact that you had your microphone down, and then when you felt the burp coming on, you lifted the microphone to your mouth and burped.
Everyone needed to hear it. Okay?
I guess he's just ashamed on this quality program that you would stoop to that type of low
after
shit.
the yawn and
That's what that is.
after you pulled off the pop protector mid go.
He's ashamed
I pulled
of
off
your lowbrow
Okay,
performance.
so
It's by the way, avid listeners of this podcast know it's not a true Tacos with Friends podcast until Ivan fucks it up somehow. If he's not clicking on porn links, we're finding porn links, and if he's not, making sounds in the background.
I don't know how all this porn just suddenly gets. I
don't know, that's weird.
I own.
I don't know. But by the way, the
Porn just
tacos
popped
I
up
had
weird.
were delicious. So that the show lived up to its name.
We had to live up to it because you were a guest. Normally we don't have tacos in here.
Actually,
Because
we hit the Taco Bell early on, but there's this new place, Dollar Tacos. You can't beat that.
Delicious.
Oh, they're
Can't
great
beat
tacos,
that.
man. And
Great
it's not new.
tacos.
That place has been there for fucking ever, Jim.
It looks new.
Yeah, it does look
Very
good. They
friendly
take care
people.
of the place.
Friendly
Very
people.
friendly people. Yep. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for this show.
All right.
It was very fun. But Kurt, thank you.
No
Kurt,
problem.
It's good to have you
dropping
here.
wisdom, Kurt. We appreciate you. Any final words, Kurt?
Yes. Kurt's final words. Go.
I said every fucking thing I had to say.
Kurt,
No, give
This-
it.
we
Okay.
agree-
Is there something?
we
is there-
agreed on this,
How
Kurt.
about
Don't
this?
fucking. You're
How about
embarrassing
this,
me.
Kurt, is there something you could have told your younger self that you think would make you a better man today?
Ooh, it's a lot of things I could have told my younger self.
Give us one example.
When the first girl asked me if she wanted to suck my dick, I said yes.
You said no.
I did.
Okay.
And
That's
is she like
actually-
really successful now, or is that your wife?
No, that's not my wife. And I don't know of her success, but I should have never said no. That's what I would have told my younger self.
Because there be those times where you'd be like, I had a chance. God damn it, you'd just be sitting in bed like.
Kurt, were
"Fuck,
you
man."
a fat awkward kid? Did you have glasses as a child?
Oh no, I was the most physically athletic motherfucker I ever knew. I was dunking on 12-foot rims and I was only 5'10".
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was
dude.
very athletic. You know what I'm saying? It was just that
And when
I was uncoordinated.
when are you thinking you're gonna go through your growth spurt?
Maybe in about a half hour.
In a half hour.
Yeah, I'm still
okay.
growing.
Well, we might as well just shut these cameras off. All right, guys.
Kurt and Ivan, it's all you guys. I'm done.
All right. Thanks, guys. It's been great. Kurt, thank you again for coming.
No problem.
This is Tacos with Friends podcast for October 6th, 2017. Almost fucked up the year there. I'm sorry, guys. Everyone's looking at me like I was fucked up again.
Stay hydrated.
Tacos with Friends, October 6th, 2017. Stay hydrated, guys, and have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.